So I've got a question for you. Why do you think there's been so many different injuries lately? Like, is it just because that's just the way that it's trending? I've got a thought about it, but I want to hear what your guys' opinions are. It's like, why have there been so many, especially specifically leg injuries?
It's funny because we used to, like they always say our technology and training and our nutrition is better, so we get more longevity, which may be true, but ultimately I feel like our injuries are more during the longevity we're getting. So I think, I don't know that I have a theory.
You always go back to there's always a couple ring rust injuries, right? When it's like, okay, like you're off for a bit, then you practice, but that's not really a game.
Yeah.
So there's always a couple right off the bat.
Yeah.
But then right now there's the most there is, and I'm like with CD, someone fell on his leg. Tyreek, I'm like, I didn't know if somebody landed on him or if he just landed weird.
No.
But I'm like, sometimes it just happens. I don't know if you just don't know.
Right.
When you fall, you don't learn. You're not worried about anyone landing on your leg. You don't think about it.
it's
So
just
like
a
you just
freak
land.
accident, yeah.
Like you just land and hope for the best, but you're not thinking of a 200, 300 pound guy landing.
Yeah, especially when you're jumping up, you know, 4 feet in the air.
Yeah. So I think there's just more. They just don't know how to protect themselves. Like there's a couple of those where they fall and you're like, damn. Because CD when he fell, you're like, he was sticking his leg way out here.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like,
the picture
bruh,
of
someone's
sounds
gonna land on
crazy.
you, man.
Yeah.
So they kind of push their limit anyway. I think we're just in that moment where all the dominoes are falling at once.
And kind of to that point, now this is an argument I heard. I don't know that I believe in it 100%, but they say, you know, the league is getting watered down. We're not practicing for the contact we used to.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
What did you learn as a receiver in high school, right? You head on a swivel, right?
Even
when you're running for that block, you got to keep your head on a swivel because you're gonna get laid out by somebody.
Because you don't hear as many talks about hospital passes anymore. They still happen. But that you don't have them as much anymore.
Yes.
But back then, the mid 2000s, you still got them. Players came back on field.
And
afterwards.
if you're practicing for that, so you're getting hit and I need to fall from this.
Yeah.
I
need to learn how to fall.
Yeah,
that's also, I don't even know how to fall properly.
Yeah, I don't know how to fall properly. It's the same thing with like not every quarterback, but a lot of quarterbacks you'll notice when somebody grabs their legs, when they fall, they go hands down like this, and you're like
bracing.
And that's why a lot of them get these arm injuries because they're like, bro, you're putting your arm out. But it's like you have to just fall.
Yeah.
So I think right now their problem is you have too many people not either. I don't think they're scared to fall, but they're not practicing to fall.
Yeah.
And you kind of need to know how to fall. If you're a quarterback, if you're a receiver, like plan for someone landing on you, plan for getting hit. And accidents happen anyway.
For sure.
Like y'all said, like the contact's not the same anymore.
Right.
So it's like now it's like you barely get tapped and a whistle blows. You're not thinking, oh, this dude's gonna follow me. Like, even though it is football.
And 20 years ago, you expected them to 3 people fall on you every time you touch the field.
You jump in the air, you got 2 guys spinning you around in circles.
You get your high lows in.
Which, I mean, fair point. The line still plays for contact.
Yeah.
They practice for contact. I would say, generally speaking, like they get a lot of hand injuries, right? Every lineman's got like a pinky that points 90 degrees the other way. But generally, they don't get a lot of the little tic-tacky injuries.
Tell that to the Vikings.
Well,
listen, some of us are cursed.
I'll pour one out for my homies.
Yeah. So what's your theory?
So I've got 2 actual theories, and then I've got a conspiracy theory.
Oh, nice.
I love a good conspiracy.
So my first theory, or people have been talking about this, is the turfs. You got your natural grass versus your artificial turf.
Different landings.
I forget, was it Brown or was it somebody had, or no, Odell tweeted something on. It's like, all right, when is enough or something like that? Calling it out, where it's just like this. For quite a few years now, that conversation's been going around that a lot of those turfs are not thick enough to support actual grip, or people are using the wrong type of cleat, whatever, and there's a lot of injuries. So I could definitely see, the change happening now more than ever, hopefully.
It's a little bit...
Especially paint on the turf also is a big thing. So they don't regulate that. And there was that one team that had like 4 different people go down with major injuries
depending
on the painting.
If they're using paint or chalk or whatever they're using. Yeah, because they didn't use different.
What team that was?
Because it's like that's where it gets slick at that point, depending on how much they've matted it down. Yeah, because some of them just spray paint. The lines and stuff. Some of them will actually paint it over. And hope it pops back up. So
let's hope this grows back.
Right. I'm sure it's probably special paint, but it's not.
I'm not going out there with a bucket. And
but it's not that cushy turf or anything. Even still.
Right. Yeah.
My second theory is I think people are pushing themselves to their uppermost limit as far as like athletics speaking, and so then when you get to any sort of minor injury, it exacerbates anything they may have already had.
I would agree people are training harder than they probably ever have. I also think on that one there is like a LeBron, right?
Mm-hmm.
His longevity is insane, but there's also different doctors and
Yeah.
training and stuff like that. But I'm like,
Yeah.
he pushes himself probably.
But I think
through the roof.
it's to me it's like they're trying to push themselves so close to their absolute limit is that they're so close when they get there to the game. As soon as something happens that's kind of going off of what we were saying, is like they land wrong somehow.
Yeah.
They get hit just the wrong way.
Yeah.
Their bodies then immediately just cannot hold.
You just can't even do it anymore.
They can't keep that level
I can see
anymore
that.
because they just get worn down so much.
And over years, technique gets better. The better your technique gets, the closer you can get to that limit. Right?
Exactly.
If I've got crappy technique, I can go 100%. It's only going to look like 60 though.
Right.
And so, and on the body, I'm not going to be able to put myself in a position. But at this point, technique is. I mean, they've drilled that stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The receivers now look like superstar. Even a slot receiver now is going to look like a superstar compared
Yeah.
to some of
Well,
the
because now
older-
just think about like the different. Because before it was like we're gonna watch game footage, and it was just like this grainy doo-doo of just like nothingness.
Yeah.
And
Right.
now it's like now they have cameras above you that has a 360 view, so it's like
You have
here's where you were when you caught it
extreme
this way.
slow-mos
Yeah,
of-
and then
Yeah.
it goes this way, and it shows you with the ball. I'm like,
Yeah.
So training is
Well, and you see some of the
Insane.
old ones. It was like, he beat him in a foot race. Like he was just faster. He
Yeah.
was just athletically more gifted. Like
Yeah.
technique had nothing to do with it. That still happens every now and then. But generally speaking, like everybody's on the same, mostly the same playing field.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's got to be you put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, say tackling injuries don't happen as much because we're not just spearing each
Well,
other.
and so that was gonna say it's like
That's what's so weird.
And there's your
Like
difference between
horse
now.
collaring to the ground.
Yeah, well, I saw earlier, wasn't there at the beginning of this season or just beforehand, somebody brought out one of the old commercials from the old NFL seasons,
gosh.
and they were showing highlights.
big hits.
90% of all of
You
the
don't see those
plays
anymore.
that were going to be shown were
Yes.
going to be like hospital passes.
Yep.
Like, just like completely illegal now, just
Yeah.
absolutely illegal.
Well, Troy Polamalu is in the NFL
Oh,
or
dude.
in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He would have no career.
no.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
that was like half his career was just absolutely destroying
Yeah.
people who weren't looking at
They
him.
Yeah,
would
exactly.
say he has an attitude and no regard for people's health, and
Oh,
they're like,
definitely be no regard.
my
He had no
gosh.
regard.
Oh, my
but
Yeah,
gosh,
you're
yeah.
like, dang, man. That's something I just watched a highlight reel of like some of the biggest tackles. It was like 6 years old, but it's like I watched those and be like, damn, because there
Yeah.
was no
Yeah.
flags, there was
Yep.
nothing. It was just like people getting destroyed.
Oh, yeah.
Which I get why you had to adjust a little bit.
But still.
Yeah.
But now it's like literally like even with the quarterback, there's so much more protection on the quarterback now than there ever has.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now you just have to worry about someone grabbing your feet and
Pretty
hope
much.
best, or,
Yep.
if they bring you down, they have to kind of like make
You
sure
gotta
hold
gently,
you gotta be
gently
like, hey buddy,
caress you.
yeah, I'll put you down now.
Just calm
Now,
down.
that being said, there are a few. Matthew Golden got laid out.
That's
Golden is
not gonna
my
happen.
favorite
Yeah.
UT player for his time at UT for that team. So shout out, love you. I hope you feel better today, buddy. Because yeah, he got absolutely
he's feeling it
He
now.
got absolutely
He's
laid
feeling
out.
it now.
That is the one time. Like every now and then, there's a play where you're like, ooh, that was a hit.
Yeah.
And he did that little twist. I guess dude didn't like it and absolutely flattened that. dude.
Yeah.
And you're
And hospital. Yeah. He's sore.
Yeah.
Now that being said, I don't think the goofy helmets make a difference.
No, they
Okay.
don't. The Guardian caps
There's-
now.
You can't, and I want to see some scientific data. Okay,
I'm sure
I
they
want
have
to
the
see
studies,
something
but, yeah.
that tells me that this much padding on the outside of that hard butt helmet with the
Yeah.
padding on the inside makes any difference.
I don't
my
think
neck
so.
like bends, like I twist my neck in
Yeah.
half. You're
Yeah.
like, did the cushion work?
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a hit from whoever and just walk it
An
off.
extra,
Yeah.
little,
And a
yeah,
poofy
an extra
helmet.
little
Yeah,
bit of
that
padding
works.
that's gonna solve it now.
Yeah, it's like getting hit by Ray Lewis into a pillow and it's fine.
yeah, exactly.
Like, and I'm fine.
Yeah.
But
So-
with that being said, yeah.
Well, I've got-
Wait,
I-
what's your
you know.
conspiracy
Oh, yeah,
theory?
conspiracy,
I
I
want,
would say,
I want a
yeah.
conspiracy.
I have a conspiracy theory that with all the different shots that they're doing and they're giving these players, I think there is some sort of new performance enhancing, some kind of steroid that is like giving them some sort of like enhanced whatever, and that's what's causing their bodies to be at that peak, where
Oh.
it just makes everything so much more fragile.
Yeah,
now.
I
It's
can
like-
totally see that.
I
Like you
can
brought up
see that.
LeBron.
Yeah.
Listen, I think that he definitely had the best medicine and chemicals available
Oh,
to
yeah.
make sure that he had a 20-year
Right.
career.
So like what
The
kind of
production.
remedies are they just not testing for?
I mean,
'Cause
for the longest, right? You would walk into the blue tent, cortisol shot,
That's
walk out of
exactly
blue
it.
tent.
Yeah.
Now
shoot
they,
you anyway.
who knows what they
Right.
come
So
up
it's
with.
like during preseason, during off season, what are they jabbing themselves with?
Aaron
and-
Rodgers is like, guys,
Like
Yeah.
every
I have a
player.
really
Yeah.
cool technique.
No, but
for you.
seriously, like, what,
Aaron
what
Rodgers
kind of,
has his own
what kind of
tent.
natural remedies are
Yeah.
these folks finding where it's like, all
Well,
right,
and every player goes down to what is it, blue Bolivia or Belize.
They
or
go
something like
somewhere,
that.
yeah.
They go to stem cells. They
Oh,
stem cell the
Mexico-
whole
yeah,
body.
Mexico does that.
Stem
yeah.
cells, I know a lot of athletes now. I know it was
I don't
already
think
a
you can
thing,
do it in
but-
U.S. Right?
No,
You
that's
have to
why
travel.
a lot of people go to Mexico
Yeah.
for stem cell stuff. Joe Rogan's
So-
all about that, you know.
That seems just like.
Yeah, but no, there's a lot. Like
That's
to
why
your
it's so
point, though, a
sweet.
ton of athletes go down there because
Yeah.
it helps boost the
I think it
recovery for.
absolutely
you
does,
know.
but who knows what else they have? Because I mean, let's face it, you have no inhibitions on money, right?
Yeah.
You can afford it all.
Oh,
Yeah, I know,
absolutely,
you can-
yeah.
you can fly,
You're
you can
paying
do-
cash
do
for
that.
everything, no
yeah,
problem.
so
yeah.
it's no big deal. It's not like if I want to get on steroids today to get jacked,
Yeah.
don't
Next
tempt me with a
episode,
good
guys.
time.
Next episode.
All right, I'm gonna come in like this.
Yep.
You're gonna come in like a
but,
bulldog.
I have to sit down and look at the budget. All right, I can afford exactly 1/4 of a shot every 43 days. Fantastic. But no, for them, they're like, yeah, just load me up.
Exactly,
Just,
yeah.
you know,
Give me the
everything you
works.
got, doc.
Yeah.
Give me the special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my thing.
I can see that too.
And you go to a doctor out of country.
Yeah.
I mean, what do they care?
Exactly.
It's not like the board is going to take away their medical certificate.
Right,
or something.
And you can
exactly.
even argue, like, let's say, because they couldn't do it during the season.
No.
So when
But
it's off
if
season,
it's something that's not being tested for, they very well
that's
could
true.
be.
They
you
could
know?
be doing it, and USADA, that's the UFC. I don't know. The NFL does their in-house.
NFL is in house, yeah.
But whatever, they're all the same.
Whatever testing.
A lot of the
organization,
testing
yeah.
is just a facade anyway.
Yeah.
It's like we only get tested between 8 and 12
Yeah.
a week
Yeah.
before the game.
Yep.
So it's like, okay, I just gotta make sure it's out of my system.
And it's
Yeah.
always
Make sure
always
I'm
like,
good
hey,
for
the
that
rookie
time
who
Yeah.
has never done anything. All right, gets a career game.
Yes.
Time to pee in a cup.
Time to pee in a cup.
Yep.
And a lot of times, I don't think, generally speaking for athletics, I think, steroids, SARMs, whatever it is, really good. Like, I can put on more muscle, I can do all this cool stuff. The recovery is the big deal.
Oh, yeah.
I can recover to train harder to be better. Mm-hmm. If I can recover faster, I can train more than you. I'll be fine.
But then
Yeah.
that just
But then you overtrain
yeah.
once.
But then to my point, maybe it's a natural like, all right, here's a shorter recovery time,
Yeah.
Push your body
and it's
to-
actually
If they do
not.
that,
Maybe
yeah.
it's just masking whatever it is.
Yeah.
And
Or it could be
so-
they're pushing, like, they want it to be 50% of a recovery.
Yeah.
And it's really about 75%.
Yeah.
But we're going to push it to 50.
Yeah,
Because that's what.
recommended doctors
Yes.
say. Yeah. Well, when they have games 4 days after, 5 days after, you got to recover somehow.
Yeah.
So
When it's like, when athletes hear you're not 100%, and they're like, well, what am I? And they're like 95. And you're like, all right.
yeah, close enough.
I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Close enough.
I can round
that
up. That's
5%
that's
they
100.
always don't think about until
That's
these
100.
happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the recovery or whatever they're doing.
Yep.
They're probably not getting the full.
They're probably
feeling.
not.
They're just
No.
going hard.
That's
doing
exactly
it.
it.
And honestly, and you know what? I think I brought this up to you. If you wanted to see what it took to play like that and not watch Tyler Lockett.
Yeah.
Tyler Lockett, I'm pretty sure that's his name. Something Lockett. He plays for the Seahawks, I think, now. Or he did for a long time. Slot receiver.
Oh yeah, 13 years.
He
in,
refuses to get hit. He takes the dive as a wide receiver, which you never see anybody give up a slide as a receiver
Yeah.
really all that often. He doesn't like to get hit because that's how you stay in the game.
Yeah.
Every hit he takes is one less game, one more headache down the road.
That's
So
interesting. I don't think I ever realized that he was.
I'll send you some highlights.
I mean,
It's
I don't even think
crazy
I
to
didn't
watch.
realize he was doing that.
And for the longest, I was like, how does this dude have a job? You could get 5, 10 yards every
Yeah.
time. But he's good at what
Yeah, I
he
would
does.
say,
Yeah,
has
as long
to
as
be
you
really
can
good.
keep
Oh,
the
he's good.
catch,
Yeah.
that's the thing. That's if
Catch and run.
people
His
can,
route
yeah.
is crazy.
If
Like-
you can get your 5, 10, 15 yards
Yeah.
and make the catch 95% of the
Yeah.
time, every quarterback's going to love you.
Oh,
Doesn't
yeah.
matter if you get 2 more yards after
Yeah.
the step.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what, especially, end zone, we don't care about running.
Exactly. Yeah.
Catch, fall down. I don't care. That's
Right.
what you do.
Go, dude.
And
Right.
strangely enough, not an injured player.
Yeah.
He doesn't take the hits. So it really takes him out of those scenarios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I need to see that because I'm like,
Yeah.
I never thought of the idea because like it's that thing where you're in football, you get hit. But
Yeah.
You get the ones that are. I guess now it's probably the best time to be doing that because
Yeah.
it's like we want your longevity.
Now,
but-
a receiver has that option. I think our running backs, my
No.
boy, shout out
No.
Cam Scatabo, we don't care.
Dude,
We do not care
There's nothing
about
you can do
He
about
was
that.
lighting
people
it up,
trying to
dude.
hit
Yeah.
us, okay?
Scatabo was lighting it up.
Yeah.
We just put our head down and we run forward. That's what we
Yup.
do.
Yep.
Also, Cam Scatabo doesn't know anything about football as far as its history, its players.
Really?
Nothing. There are podcast clips of him, like they'll show him Megatron.
Uh-huh.
He's like, I've never seen this player. It's like, dude. And his favorite team, I don't remember who it was, whoever it is, Steelers, whatever. I don't think it's the Steelers. They showed him like a picture of one of their like
The great
franchise,
players, yeah.
good players, and he's just like, did he play football? And everybody's like, how do you know nothing?
The CTE hit early.
Oh, for sure.
Poor guy. He just knows to go out there and wreck.
Yeah,
wreck shop.
it's a full
Yeah.
water boy thing of just all right. You go that way.
You should go
Get
that
the
way.
ball and go that way.
You know the little gnome on Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Who just wants to like
You mean
just
the dwarf called Gimli.
He's like,
Whatever.
throw me.
Dude.
No, dwarf, all the same thing.
Yeah.
The
Sorry,
little,
the dwarf
little
community.
big,
Yeah.
sorry for the dwarves. Can't go further with that joke. Just, dude, he just runs out there and he's just there to cause havoc. That's all he
Yeah.
does.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
He just wants to wreck shop.